Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, a recent report from China indicates the government's outlook on crypto could be evolving as geopolitical tensions continue to boil. Xinhua news agency, China's state-run agency, published analysis on Tuesday stating that Bitcoin displays the attributes of a safe haven asset. For those of you who don't understand why this is incredible, is because China, since around 2016, has been talking about how much they don't really care for Bitcoin. I believe there was a full outright ban in 2017. Over the course of 2018, there was a government agency that was created to talk about the prices and awesomeness, I'm not even joking, of cryptocurrencies and exactly how good they were compared to other cryptocurrencies. And at the same exact time, like a couple days later, the Chinese government would make sure that certain other aspects of owning Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies were also banned. And then the next week after that, we'd have another report from the Chinese government talking about the most useful cryptocurrencies and how great they are and how so and so and so. And then the next week after that, we had a situation where Andreas Antonopoulos, the guy who wrote the book Mastering Bitcoin, in China, they took that book, erased the word Bitcoin and changed the word to blockchain. It's a very weird relationship that China has with Bitcoin. So the fact that a government agency released a report talking about that Bitcoin is a safe haven asset is a little weird. Since the beginning of the year, due to multiple factors such as the escalation of economic and trade disputes and the expected downward adjustment of the global economic growth rate, global capital market volatility has intensified. Bitcoin has shown the characteristics of safe haven assets and attracted many investors' attention. In addition, Facebook's proposed release of the cryptocurrency Libra has greatly increased the market's popularity and attracted more investors into the cryptocurrency market. For those who don't know, we're actually going to get more into that as well. The stock market, I believe at the moment, is actually not doing too bad, but global economic growth is slowing down rapidly. A lot of the countries who were expected to become major powerhouses about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago are not. Their growth is slowing rapidly. Multiple factors. I'm not going to really get into them in the video. The point is the expansion and the amount of growth that countries thought we were going to have is not showing itself. And also because of all these other trade disputes that we're having around the world, hyperinflation, this is literally the best thing that Bitcoin could have ever asked for. It's very peculiar timing. The analysis cuts a different tack than previous moves made by the Chinese government, which banned ICOs and most forms of Bitcoin trading in 2017. The government has also discouraged Bitcoin mining, driving many miners' operations out of business. Mining within China was a very huge thing in 2015, 2016, 2017. And then apparently, my opinion, I'm pretty sure this is part of what it was, the Chinese government said that, I believe it had to do with miners being able to use almost free electricity, or electricity that was very cheap. People were moving into the mountains, into different provinces, and they were using that space to be able to mine cryptocurrency, but they were taking away the energy from other miners, like actual miners, like not digital miners, and farmers within these areas. And therefore, this is why the Chinese government kind of came down hard on Bitcoin mining. Don't know how true all of that is, but China's potential warming to crypto comes as U.S. President Trump continues to threaten the country with a slew of new tariffs. Yeah, for those of you, like I said before, and other videos who have not been looking at the news, please do so. It is a very interesting situation that's happening right now around the world. The U.S. has pushed back many times before, not even just this president, other presidents before. Everyone kind of pushes back at other countries. The U.S. knows and understands that it has a dominant role in the world. However, that can only last for so long because other countries are kind of, nobody wants to be pushed around for a good 80-something years. It kind of becomes uncomfortable. The first couple of weeks, you're like, that's fine. But as it continues to go on, no one really likes what you're doing. And this is why I think that we've seen an expansion of openness from countries as to the actual usage of cryptocurrencies. I am more than certain governments around the world have probably been having discussions with themselves. This happened a couple of years ago as well. Governments were having discussions as to how to get away from the US dollar. None of that really came to fruition. They were trying to create some type of a bank that was joined with China. It was the European Union, it was China and a couple of other random countries around the world. The point is, None of that, I guess, didn't really take off as well as they thought that it would have. But this is when I talk about the actual adoption of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and the future that we're moving towards. I think a lot of people think that I'm either, what's the term, blowing hot air? Is that a term? You kind of get what I'm saying, or that I'm saying it to kind of hype up everything. But if you look at and pay attention to the news, the world's not doing well. I'm not talking about, like, you know, like we're going to go to war, hopefully not. But it's more like economically, things are really crumbling really, really fast. The 2008-2009 financial crisis that we had was never fixed. We've had a number of other little mini crises over the last couple of years. Like since about a good, was it 10, 11 years? We've had a couple of drops in the market, like a lot of fear, a lot of panicking, but this has all been eased over by just pushing more money into the market. There's a lot of situations right now where it's looking like the U.S. housing market also doesn't make a lot of sense. Things are a bit too expensive. People are taking out a lot more loans than they probably should be. It's usually a very bad indication when people get too happy and they're buying too many homes when they don't even need them. Like people, like I put it to you this way: we all know and have seen that neighbor who has about 4 cars, but it's just him and his wife living in the house and they have no kids. You wonder how they're doing that, and a couple years later, you see someone towing away their cars, and you go, credit. It's kind of the same exact thing. Everyone's been taking out far too much debt, thinking that is kind of, you know, able to go on forever. And while all of this is happening, new tariffs and sanctions are being put on other countries, and it's like, you can't do this for too long without other people trying to fight back. And it's very interesting that the time that Bitcoin was birthed just happened to continue to coincide with the fact that the world wasn't going to continue doing well over the last couple of years. And now we've gotten to the point where Bitcoin has permeated into the world consciousness so much that when people see bad things happening in the news, they go out and buy Bitcoin. So very fascinating. I still firmly think governments are buying up tons of cryptocurrency. If you think that they're not at this point, it's kind of weird. You're weird. I don't even know how to really put that into, like the fact that we had information that China was trying to get control of the cryptocurrency mining situation before in 2017 and 2018. I mentioned, I was like, I'm pretty sure the Chinese government, as they control everything within the country, probably acquired a couple of cryptocurrency mining operations, which means that they're also being able to mine this for themselves. I mean, anyway, just my own opinion. But yeah, China put out this that said that Bitcoin is a safe haven asset. Might be the weirdest thing I've read in the last couple of months. I think within the next like 3 or 4 weeks, China's going to put out something else talking about how dangerous Bitcoin is. And then by like August, they'll love it once again. It's very weird. I don't know how to take it. Let's move on. Here's a really good one. The potential interest rate cut by the United States Central Bank is apparently one of the reasons for the recent surge of Bitcoin. This was said by a Deutsche Bank executive, Jim Reed, in an interview with CNBC on the 26th of June. Reed, the head of the global fundamental credit strategy at Deutsche Bank, stated, and I do quote, "If central banks are going to be this aggressive, then alternative currencies do start to become a bit more attractive." Reed referenced a recent speech by Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, who said yesterday that the central bank is considering a cut of interest rates amidst the current economic uncertainty and inflation risks. As such, the US dollar dropped versus major fiat currencies yesterday, recording a 3-month low against the euro, which was allegedly triggered by expectations of multiple interest rates decreased by the federal government. Meanwhile, Bitcoin has continued to grow to new heights in 2019, above $12,000, while its market cap had surged above $220 billion. Reed also noted that the recent spike of crypto prices is partially caused by Facebook's upcoming crypto project known as Libra, which white paper was released earlier on the 18th of June. Since then, Bitcoin has risen by more than 30%, from around $9,000 to around $12,000 when this was written. You know that the price of Bitcoin has been fluctuating the last couple of days, according to data from Coin360. In the interview, Reed has reiterated his negative stance towards easing practices by central banks after previously claiming that the existing fiat-based currency system was unstable and nearing its end. This is an analyst from Deutsche Bank who said that the existing fiat currency system was unstable and was nearing its end, providing his remarks back in 2017 in the wake of Bitcoin's all-time high of $20,000. Reed criticized continuous printing of money by banks warning that this could lead to the end of paper money, and how right he was. Here's the actual article right here from CNBC, if it ever loads. Is it going to load? There we go. What the guy was talking about. You want to see something funny? So there. Now he's mean. Now he's happy. Now he's mean. Now, for those who aren't looking at the screen, when you scroll over the actual video, the guy's face changes, and I thought that was very funny that he looks very angry, and then when you move away from it, he's smiling again. Anyway, here's the actual article from 2017 where the Deutsche Bank strategist was noting in 2017 already that fiat-based currency systems were near their end. Very fascinating when we end up getting news like this. I think a lot of people think that because people who are into banking don't understand exactly where things are going. I think that they think that people who are bankers or banksters don't understand the significance of Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. I told you all of this before. They know exactly what's going on. These are the people who control the world and who control money. They've been looking at the trends. They've been looking at the prices. They've been looking at the charts. And they understand that they're not making as much money as they were before. So they definitely really are not even coming to terms with it. I'm sure there are a lot of them who are definitely into cryptocurrencies, have probably been buying a massive amount of Bitcoin themselves. But the fact of the matter is that we are at a point right now where banks are trying to figure out exactly how to get things under control. It is, or has been predicted for quite some time, that the stock market is going to crash at some point. It cannot go up forever. Nothing goes up forever. Eventually, people get too either afraid, or we figure out that the economic policies that were propping up that market were rubbish. They weren't real. None of it was actually taking place, and it was simply just tons of money that was being pushed into it. And this is why I think we're seeing, like, the amount of good energy that's circling around Bitcoin the last couple of months has been absolutely incredible, because 2018 was a very negative time in all of our lives when the prices were going down. But the fact of the matter is that when you talk about the future of Bitcoin, it's going to be propelled by things like this. There are tons of other people, there are tons of other analysts who do watch CNBC for their monetary information. And when they hear someone like this, a Deutsche Bank strategist, talking about that the current system is going to die and that cryptocurrencies are moving up because of what the central bank is doing, and the central bank themselves probably don't even care, and they continue doing the same exact thing that they were doing before and continue printing more money, people listen to these things and they go, well, you know, I had a friend a couple years ago who told me to buy Bitcoin. Maybe I should just buy a couple of them right now. This is how things kind of move forward. Once again, a lot of times we lose ourselves in our own lives, and we think that only us and our friends and our family members are the only people who are in this space. Nope, there's tons of money behind it who also understand that things are going to continue to kind of fall apart. Not to be real negative, but that's kind of the point. Anyway, we're going to see more of this, and I wonder what's going to happen to the stock market by the end of this year, because I think anything hyper negative that could take place within the stock market will propel Bitcoin to unseen heights. I still think within the next couple of weeks, and I mean it realistically, I think in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see Bitcoin try and hit $20,000 as we move more into July and more people are starting to really understand the impact of the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange and Fidelity launching their products and all the new money that's going to kind of go inside of this. And then I'm interested for the price metrics as well, as far as when we're able to see exactly, you know how like normal cryptocurrency exchanges, you can see how much money's flowing back and forth through them. That's going to the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, and Fidelity alone on their own are going to dwarf the current volumes that we have, and they're going to cause the cryptocurrency market to go up a lot higher. At least this is just my opinion on how things are going to move. I assume the prices are also going up because of the speculation as far as the actual, what's it called? The stuff that's just kind of going on, and the stuff that's kind of going to happen. Anyway, enough jabbering on about this. Let's move on. So we had news about this a couple days ago that it may happen, but apparently it's now been confirmed. The TRON Foundation has announced a $20 million buyback plan. In a blog post published on the 25th of June, the buyback is purportedly part of an an initiative, my English is horrible, to bolster community activity and market stability. The company is going to conduct the largest TRON token buyback plan so far, with the widest converge in the secondary market, the post reads. The buyback is set to last for a year in the form of several batches totaling $20 million. On the 1st of January 2020, the TRON Foundation will reveal its TRON holdings. However, the company further says that it does not have any specific plans for the unlocked amount of TRON. TRON is probably, for those who don't know, here's the actual article right here. TRON is probably going to be known as a security. Everything that they've been doing screams we want the SEC to breathe down our neck, between the constant tweet hypes and all the other, I mean, it's a perfect ball of security. Typically, we see people in the financial world buy back stocks. No one really buys back their cryptocurrencies. I think TRON is also doing a coin burn. Don't ask me, I'm not that into TRON to be able to know exactly what's happening in their everyday lives. I don't sleep in their bed. The point is, my goodness, the buyback of your own cryptocurrency. It also says it's somewhere around here. Yeah, in order to promote community activity and market stability, they're probably trying to prop up the price of TRON, because a lot of people, TRON heads, what do you call them? TRONians? People, the beginning of this year, were telling me that I was wrong and that TRON was going to go into the top 3 spot because of how many people were using it and how many so and so and blah, 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 blah. I don't hate TRON. I just hate that other people don't see what's happening with TRON. That, I think, is what really gets me, why I continue to talk about it. It's not even talking about it negatively. If you think that I've been talking negatively about TRON, you haven't been paying attention to the news. If you are, and I say this right now, I don't know if this is going to happen. However, if you are based in the US or any other country around the world that has had troubles with securities, and you are holding TRON, please be aware that not only may you get in trouble, but you're probably going to get in trouble. I know I said you twice. That's because the US government does not want people to get into ICOs that they have not approved, which is like none of them, like I think 3 or something like that, and other coins that have been deemed to be securities within the eyes of the United States have slammed down in price. Once again, not saying that that is going to happen, but I'll put it to you this way. You don't typically hear about other coins that have not already been labeled securities or have come out as securities themselves by the actual coin creators who have been buying back their own coins and or burning them. Just gonna say that. It's a little weird buying back your own coin. A lot of people were telling me that TRON was going to hit $2, $3 by this time this year, even by the end of this year. Go for it. We'll see exactly what ends up happening. I assume the US SEC is going to have something to say about this. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, American financial clearing and execution company known as Apex Clearing and its crypto investment subsidiary Apex Crypto have launched a new trading platform for broker-dealers and financial advisors to help their clients trade crypto more effectively, according to a 27th of June press release announcing the new broker-integrated Apex Crypto platform. Equity investors will be able to seamlessly open and fund new crypto trading accounts within minutes, rather than the purported weeks it usually takes the clients to do so. Founded in 2012, Apex Clearing is an SEC-registered and FINRA member digital wealth management firm owned by American financial services company PEAK6 Investments LLC. As of today, over 5 million current Apex Clearing clients can thus access the Apex Crypto platform. They currently have Bitcoin, Bcash, Ether, and Litecoin. Where's the other really important part? Where is it? Press release, so-and-so chilling and so thousands of accounts within the day, platform technology, but anything based. Initially, Apex Crypto is being released for investors across 40 U.S. states and the District of Columbia, because it's never all of them. In a statement, the clearinghouse. Here we go. The fact is, or rather the takeaway from it, is that they are an SEC-approved clearinghouse, and part of the problem that the CFTC and the SEC have had within the cryptocurrency space is that when a lot of larger financial institutions have been trying to get into the cryptocurrency space, they've been trying to custody everything themselves or didn't have a clearinghouse, i.e. U.S. governments, or rather governments in general, want a third-party member who can say, This did indeed go from A to B, but it touched us first so that we can then tell the government exactly what money was being sent back and forth. It pretty much has to do with the whole know your customer, anti-money laundering type of things. So the fact that there is now a SEC regulated clearinghouse, the crypto trading to the 5 million clients, that's wonderful, that's amazing. The more important part is that the fact that they are SEC approved, which is something that we've been waiting for, because a lot of other places, especially the New York Stock Exchange, they had to, I think, self-verify or something like that, something completely insane. The point is, we have one. I guess the crypto trading platform is also cool and amazing, wonderful as well. Anyway, I thought this was cool. I think this is the actual article right here. Yep, here we go. And let's move on. To kind of finish things off on a good note, it goes on talking about the price of Bitcoin and how there's been a lot of negativity for those who haven't been paying attention. A lot of people are so obsessed with the price of Bitcoin going down and that there just has to be some type of a correction. People are obsessed with the fact that Bitcoin just has to go lower, because why would things continue to go up? It says it does not concern Jesse Powell of US-based cryptocurrency exchange Kraken. The chief executive officer said that he is not anchoring his thoughts on the imminent Bitcoin correction. Instead, he is looking at a big picture wherein the cryptocurrency value could reach anywhere between $100,000 and $1 million. He said, when I hear people talk about a Bitcoin correction, I'm thinking 100K, maybe 1 million. That's what's correct. Powell's bullish statement or sentiment towards Bitcoin appears in tandem with the general market viewpoint towards the cryptocurrency's future. This week, Anthony Pompliano of Morgan Creek Digital Assets also predicted that Bitcoin would reach 100,000 a piece ahead of the 2021 close. The founding partner said that there could be a correction, periods of 20 to 30% when Bitcoin hits a new high, but the asset would continue rising nevertheless. I don't think it's going to take until 2021. I don't think it's going to take until the end of 2020. I think that's probably the weirdest prediction that I've ever heard. I think it's going to happen sometime. If it doesn't happen by the end of this year, if the world's economy has not collapsed and people have not started throwing as much money as possible into Bitcoin, I'm fairly certain it's going to happen sometime next year as we get closer to that reward getting cut in half, especially when we have all the major institutions and players actually putting their money into this. For those who are not keeping track, this is at least number 17, 18, 19, if not a bit more, of the major players in the cryptocurrency space and even just in the normal financial space who are calling for anywhere between a $100,000 to a $1 million Bitcoin price. If you think that Bitcoin is not going to go above 100,000 over the next year, you are probably sadly mistaken, because if we can hit 20,000 when barely anybody was in the cryptocurrency space, you can only imagine what's going to happen when we end up already have billionaires in this space, and they're already buying up as much Bitcoin as they possibly can, as we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. Anyway, I like that story. I like talking about stuff like that because it's fairly obvious where the prices are going. Once again, just a little side note. I will never tell you what to do explicitly with your money. However, it may be time for a lot of people out there to review their portfolios and see if owning some Bitcoin is right for them. Just saying. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Mechanic, Anthony Charles, Nick Mangialavori, Arthur Yaku, Minting Coins, Jim Gardner, Jeremy the Photographer, Tom Sucks at Basketball, and Sam Skips Leg Day, Paxis, Vlad the Impaler, Cody, RF Dusty, Richie Rich the Third, Nick Kanaya, Setsuna, Nicholas, One Earth, One Peace, One Love, Crypto Artist, Cole D, 3D, Clara T. Snowden, Jeffrey Ramsey, Amy Starsheen, Yasha Harari, Rai, singer-songwriter Mike Savitz, Carl Birchenoff, Mohair Maroney, Crypto Joe, Wise Night Owl, Jared Schneider, L Doug, Brady Niels, Crypto Beer Shipment, Adobo, My Keto Kitchen, Professor Wally from Gun Bot University, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, and Kyle Chassé. Thank you for your support. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. Going to be quite interesting to see exactly what happens across the cryptocurrency space this weekend, as prices are looking like they're trying to go back up. Everybody wants to make money. Thank you all once again for watching and listening, and I will definitely be talking to you all soon. See you.